Jazz have now jumped again. The season is starting to look like it's rounding into a successful end. Still 22 games left, though, so let's talk about it. All of this on the Hoopster postgame show. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, make sure you give me a follow. If you're on the podcast, make sure to give a 5-star review. I would really appreciate it. All right, guys, this might not be as long tonight. I'm tired. It's late. But we're going to talk about it because guess what? This was a extremely successful day for the Utah Jazz. They lose to the New Orleans Pelicans. I finally was able to catch up on this one. Got a little close there for a minute. And then the Pelicans pulled away. Part of that was Zion Williamson kind of getting injured near the end of the second quarter, which is, he's been extremely healthy so far this season, or at least since he came back healthy earlier in the year. Finally gets injured with some sort of ankle injury, something that, I guess we shouldn't be surprised about. Zion Williamson gets injured. But anyways, Saddiq Bey continues to play well against the Utah Jazz, 24 points. Not much else to say in this one. I am a big fan of Jeremiah Fears, and I still really like what Derek Queen brings to the table, even though he has hit a pretty hard rookie wall. Also, just with some of the changes to the team and some of the different rotations, it's hard to succeed coming off the bench instead of coming off with the starting unit. Also, they did not have Trey Murphy today, so... but they were able to beat the Jazz pretty handily. It got a little close midway through the fourth quarter, but not much else. The biggest story, I'm probably going to go short today, probably not going to go through everyone. I just want to talk about the ones that I'm mostly interested in. The first is Keonte George played 23 minutes. I wonder if that's just a minute restriction. In 23 minutes, he scored 17 points. Looked a little bit on the shot. It looks just a hint rusty, but that's to be understandable because he comes back with he turned both ankles. He turned one ankle, came back for the Jaren Jackson Jr. game on February 7th, I believe, and then promptly turned the other ankle. So the Jazz don't have any reason to be forcing anything with Keonte George. It's nice to see that he was healthy in this one, and those ankles look like they're okay. So 17 points, 4 assists for Keonte George. 4 for 11 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. Not a big surprise coming off of injury that those numbers aren't going to be particularly great. Those numbers that have been so high this year might take a dip if he's coming off injury and playing, sporadically, I guess. But anyways, it was nice to see Keonte George. I missed seeing Keonte George on the floor. The ball just moves so much better when he's out there. It's a reminder that his playmaking is really good and underrated in a lot of different ways. And I personally just enjoy watching him play point guard. It's my favorite thing. And the fact that he can score as well as he does, draws fouls. I mean, it does make you think, speaking of lottery and Jazz jumping into the top 5, if Utah drafts AJ Debonsa is going to be such a good foul manufacturer as well. Like both him and Keonte George are going to make guarding the Jazz so incredibly difficult because you're going to have foul trouble on the wing and you're going to have foul trouble at the guard because every single time those guys drive, they are so good at creating contact. Debonsa as well. And this is obviously pie in the sky if Utah ends up with Debonsa. I hope, beyond hope, that Utah gets Debonsa or Peterson, because I think those two are the real stars in the draft. And if Utah can just get one, I'm ecstatic. We could argue who you pick number 1 overall if you're number 1. I probably leave that to the Jazz a little bit. I have my ideas on both of them. I think there's pros and cons to both. Yeah, so we don't need to dive into that, at least today. But anyways, Keonte George played great. He's still so good at getting the line. Look at that. 8 for 10 from the line, gets 10 free throws. He's just elite at drawing fouls. And then Ace Bailey, I liked what I saw. The shot is just not quite there, the 2-point shot. And I think it's just because I want to see There was a lot I really liked tonight from Ace Bailey. I know that the box score watchers out there, the ones that don't actually watch the games, will be like, "Oh, 4 for 16." And, understandably so. Like, Bailey has been missing some of these shots. Although, what's interesting is the three-point shot, it seems like he's missing a lot. It's a little deceiving because it's those 2-point mid-range shots that we all love to see him take. They're not falling as much. And so what I would love to see for Bailey, and it's something that Keonte George had to learn, it's the thing we, like, at least on this show, talked about over and over and over. One of the ways to just improve your field goal percentage is to either not take the shot, or basically that's it. It's just like not take the bad shot, and that improves your field goal percentage. Now, Ace Bailey's in a different situation than Keonte George. We want Ace Bailey taking these shots. Him taking 16 shots and tying for the league with Bryce Sensabaugh is a huge success, because one of the things that's been interesting about Ace Bailey this year is just how unselfish he has been. Unselfish to a fault, really, because there's been a lot of situations where it's like, you know what, Ace, shoot the ball, especially if you've got an open catch and shoot three. Look at this, 37% from three is good. That is very solid. At worst, that's league average for three-point shooting, right? He can shoot the three, and a shot by Ace at this point from the three-point line is a good one. Now, where we're seeing some issues is kind of that mid-range game and some of the shots Bailey's trying to take. I want to see him just drive to the rim and cram it more. He's got the athleticism. And I feel like one of the things that we're seeing from Bailey that's making me very happy is that he seems to be handling the ball with a little bit more confidence. There's multiple times in these games where you can tell the Jazz goal is to get Ace Bailey the ball and get him to initiate offense. And there's going to be growing pains, but that's fine. This is 20. I think Utah has 22 more games left this season? Let's see. Utah is at 18-42. So 50, let's see. Yeah, there's 22 games left. That is 22 games of being able to allow Ace Bailey to initiate offense, make mistakes, and I don't care if you're shooting 4 for 16, right? But what I do want to see is him trying some different things that he might not be comfortable doing. And one of those is just driving to the basket and just cramming it. I think he could do that more than he even realizes. So that's one thing that Cody Williams has learned this season, is that when in doubt, dunk the ball. I mean, that's honestly, I need to make like a 10 commandments of basketball. And one of them is dunk the basketball. Thou shalt dunk the basketball. If thou art within 2 to 3 feet of the rim, and thou dost not dunk the basketball, thou hast sinned, and thou must repent, and must cram the basketball on thine enemies. Right? That's like commandment number 1 in basketball commandments. All right? And Cody Williams has learned that commandment and has repented and has done well. Ace Bailey needs to learn that commandment. Dunk the ball. He's like one of the more athletic guys, and he's 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is. Just dunk it. Also, dunking the basketball is fun, I imagine. If I could dunk a basketball, I would do it a lot. A lot. I would be dunking on these hoes, right? Wouldn't all of us? Come on. Gotta be stunting on these guys, all right? Dunk on them. Please, please, Ace. Thou shalt dunk. And thou shalt dunk with ferocity. I've become, you guys know that I'm a pretty big Cody Williams fan. I love the defense. He is definitely going to be on this team. I guess definitely I should be careful. It's going to be interesting, the roster next year for this Jazz team. But I like Cody Williams on the roster for the defense. That alone gives him a lot of value. What he does need to do this offseason is just work on the jump shot. It feels like the ball just does not come out of his hand straight. Like when you shoot that basketball, ball in palm of your hand, whether you're finger in that thing or palm in it, however you shoot the ball, whatever, put that hand in the center of the ball, straight elbow, square, shoot the basketball. And for whatever reason, that ball comes off sideways off his hands like all the time. This offseason, Cody Williams needs to be shooting 1 million basketballs. Like Ray Allen shooting program, 4,000 jump shots a day until you can be making those threes Jordan style, winking over at Mutombo. I'm going to make this one eyes closed. That's what he's got to do. And if he can do that, then Cody Williams becomes such an effective player. That is the missing piece with Cody Williams. Imagine if Cody Williams, with what he's learned now, with the defense, with the ball handling, the aggression driving to the basket, imagine if Cody Williams adds a 40% corner three-point shot, like 40 to 45% from the corner. All of a sudden, Cody Williams is a really valuable player, someone that you can pay $5 to $10 million a year and feel really good about. And the fact that he can handle the ball and be kind of a third or fourth option bringing the ball up the court, that's really nice, right? Nice to see. I continue to be a fan of Blake Hinson. Okay, here will you go. We probably aren't going to go through all of this. We're just going to go through it really quick. I'm going to go through the guys, and people are doing this on Jazz Twitter, which is fine. The guys that I am high stonks on, and the guys that I'm not high stonks on. So guys that I think should be on the team next year, and guys that if they're not on the team next year, I don't care. Cody Williams, it's time to buy stonks. The stonks will rise, because if he can shoot that ball, then the stonks will go crazy, right? The stonks are already pretty good. Blake Hinson, I'm a fan. I am a fan. I would like Blake Hinson on the Jazz. 6'8", shooting 2 for 3 from 3 tonight. You can do worse. 5 rebounds, not bad. Now, is he like a starter or even like a rotation player? Maybe not. We'll see. But he's definitely someone that is showing that he can shoot the ball, and he plays pretty well with his size. I got to watch him closer to see what that defense looks like. But overall, I am happy with what he brings. Only 16 minutes tonight, and he got the start, which is interesting. Kyle Filipowski, stonks are way down. Stonks are like crashing through the floor. It is a bear market. It is bear down, baby. I just am not interested in Kyle Filipowski getting a lot of minutes next year at all. At all. He is helping us lose games, actively helping us lose games. And that's where we're at. So we got 2 guys in this tank rotation that I like. Ace Bailey, stonks are up, for sure. Keonte George, stonks are way up. John Conchar, stonks are good. You know, 14th, 15th guy on the roster, I don't mind. +7 for John Conchar. We should call him John Stonksar, right? Stonks are up. Stonks are way up on John Conchar. I love that he plays with energy. I love that he always manages to fill these stats. No matter what, he's going to grab like the hustle stats. 2 steals, 2 rebounds. He's just out there playing his heart out. Only 15 minutes tonight, and that's fine. Elijah Harkless. Okay, I guess Keonte George and Ace Bailey, we know they're going to be on the team next year, so we don't need to worry about them. But Williams, Hinson from the tank roster, yes. John Conchar, yes. Elijah Harkless, big yes, baby. That is a big capital Y-E-S, yes. I love Elijah Harkless. And it's the defense. He's knocking down. The shot looked good today for the first time, I think, in a while. Elijah Harkless, and look at this. He was making things a little scary for Utah tonight. +8 in this one. 14 points, 5 assists. Look out. What I love about Elijah Harkless is he looks like he wants to get in a fight every game. And I want that mentality on the Jazz. We need to be tougher. Just honestly, like, tougher. Something's got to make you mad, and you have got to react to it. And Utah needs to have an identity of at least not get pushed around. We are going to be tough. And that's one thing that I love about Harkless is he is not here to mess around with you. If you insult him or if you disrespect him, he does not like it. He does not put up with it. And what I love too is just the defense is just super high intensity. And if he can play 28 minutes like this, like what I can tell you, here's the difference between Harkless and Isaiah Collier in my mind is this +8. And yes, Collier handles better and is a very good passer. I don't think I have the hardest time with Collier. It's just there's this weird thing where I'm like, we probably need to keep him on the team because I want to see Collier playing with better players and see what that looks like. But man, is it not very good when he's not with great players, right? I think Elijah Harkless, it's like there's certain players that I do think play better when they have better players around them. And that's usually going to be the facilitators, like the Isaiah Colliers, right? But Harkless is not the facilitator that Collier is, but he is such a good he just plays with such intensity on defense. I don't know, I'm sure there's some advanced numbers that might disagree with him being a good defender, but I love the intensity. And that to me is half the battle, right? The other half is running the scheme, timing, footwork, all the things that make you a good defender, getting up in people's chest, quickness, quick twitch, all that stuff, strength, hold your ground, get guys off their spots, don't let guys get to their spots, all this stuff that you need to do if you want to be a good defender, right? And maybe I just, I watch these games, I don't always I would love to watch these even closer. And one thing when you're watching is on the defensive end, watch how these guys move guys off their spots. Are they getting to the spots quicker and keeping them from them? Do they know what the offensive player wants to do and they're keeping them from doing it? I mean, that's half of film watching is just knowing what the other team wants to do. If you're watching, I don't know, what's a player that has like back in the day, Chris Paul, he likes that like right corner free throw line jumper. Don't let him get there. Like, don't let him get to the shot he wants to take, and watch the film, learn what his tendencies are, and then keep him from doing that. That's basic. I mean, that's just basic NBA defense, is knowing what a player wants to do, and then don't let him do it. If you know that a player shoots it better going left, then don't let him go left. So anyways, I got to watch Harkless a little bit on that, but something tells me that he's going to be just fine and just doing that stuff already. But what we can tell is that he played well tonight, and 2 for 4 from 3 is exciting. He's shot it really well in the G League. The question is, can it convert to the NBA? It just hasn't quite converted yet. Look at this. Yep, 28-28. A night like tonight, those 2 threes he knocked down, they just looked good. In fact, I want to watch these really quick. So look at this. The form looks solid. Honestly, this is a pass from Collier. By the way, shout out to Collier for the good pass. Steps into it with confidence. Square elbows, straight. Follow through is good. Splash. Very nice. And then let's watch this one. And that was kind of a catch and shoot rhythm 3. This right here, Collier, let's see, I don't even remember this. Oh, look, this is just another catch and shoot 3, but look, this is with the guy in his face. Knocking it down. Square. I think this was the shot that really impressed me because it just looked so smooth. Look at that. Unbothered. Knocks it down. And that's with Sadiq. Is that Sadiq Bey? I don't know. But anyways, he knocks that down. Looks great. I was happy with what we're seeing from Harkless. If he can do that, he becomes extremely valuable because the defensive intensity is there. And that is going to be the big difference next year is this Jazz team able to defend at a top 10 level? I have a feeling this Jazz team is going to be so much better than people think. There have been so many games where Utah has played teams that I've been unimpressed with some of these good teams when they've played the Jazz because Utah had to like manufacture a loss. Like Utah beat Boston in Boston. And I know that and it was annoying. I was mad that it happened, but we got a call that went our way and it cost Boston the game, really. But Utah was with that. The fact that Utah was in that game and beat Boston in Boston just tells you a lot about this Jazz team. Boston, there's a lot of people that think they're like a top 6, top 7 team. Don't be surprised at how good the Jazz are next year, especially if they win the lottery and bring on Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa. Don't be surprised if Utah is like the surprise team that makes it past the first round of the playoffs and like sweeps their way to through the first round, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Honestly, I think a top 3 seed for Utah next year is not out of the question. I think they're going to be pretty darn good, and we'll see. Obviously, barring injury, we'll find out. Not much else to say. Oh, so stonks are up on Elijah Harkless. Kevin Love is just one you stay away from. I hope he's on the team just for leadership and locker room presence. Sensabaugh, stonks are down. I'm out. I think he's going to be traded to somewhere. Look at that, 4 for 16. It's just too streaky. It's not consistent. The defense isn't there. He doesn't make other players better. And so, I don't know. Maybe he improves and does that, but we've got a pretty good amount of data and sample size and opportunity now, and I just don't know. And I'm neither here nor there with Collier. You can buy the stonks if you want. You can sell them. It's your choice. I think those are just kind of, it's breaking even. And I don't know if it's going to be more than that because I don't think the shot is falling. And that's tough to say because look at that, 21 points and 7 assists, but he was a minus 11. So I just don't know what to think. He's one of those players that on offense, the defense doesn't really have to guard him. And he's figured out how to be effective regardless, which is nice to see. He just can't hit threes. And so at least consistently, there's been times where it's looked better. They're just not falling. So I don't know. I think that he'll be on the Jazz next year, and it's probably the right thing. I mean, it is the right thing. Like, you're not going to get rid of him. He's on rookie contract. And you see these things that look good. Like, on paper, 21 points, 7 assists looks really good. 2 steals. Can't argue that this isn't good. And maybe this is me being too hard on him. He did also help. He was in the game when there was a run happening. So this minus 11 is interesting. I think part of the minus 11 here got cut in half when he helped them bring the Jazz back. And he is getting to the line. So the numbers here are showing something that's worth working with. And he is fast. And I do feel like he tries hard. There's just something about it when he's on the floor that doesn't translate to winning. And it's one of those things that we got to keep watching as the years go on. Like if you watch, the advanced analytics are just not super friendly to Isaiah Collier. They're just not. And sometimes that's because they're a little too swayed by like rebounding. So maybe it's not really fair. But there's just something about it that's not translating to winning. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're even on him. I don't think, as much as I like Sheebs, I don't think he's going to be on the team next year. And Svi Mikhailiuk will be. He shoots the ball well. You can tell the Jazz like him. I wanted to do something interesting. So Utah now is at the 5 spot. They now jump New Orleans. We talked about this all year, that the Jazz were eventually going to jump. What the heck? But anyways, man, some of these ads that come up, guys. But anyways, 5 spot for Utah. They have Washington that is just a game and a half. Well, basically 2 games above them. Utah needs to lose every game for the rest of the season. I think they can pass them up. And I think the team to watch as the season goes on. Look at this. Washington has one of the easier schedules to end. Look at that. Plays Utah twice. Can Utah lose both of those games? Can Utah do what it takes to lose both of those games to Washington? I wish I could pull this up and see Utah Jazz schedule. There's 22 games left, and it could not be more important to lose those 2 games. If the Jazz lose those 2 games, it's just one of the most successful things of the season. So let's see. So, man, those are going to be as tanky a games as you're ever going to see. So Utah plays Denver, Philadelphia, and then Washington on Thursday. And that's in Washington. No one's going to play that game. I don't even think Collier is going to play that game. Utah has a chance to catch up one game to them. Utah's going to go on a real losing streak here. Then this Sacramento game, Utah should just unabashedly rest everyone. And then here. And Utah has a chance to really jump Washington. And I think the team that you need to watch with this tanking is Chicago. Because Chicago is awful. Chicago has been so bad. They are trying to tank their hearts out too. Look at this. They've been because Sacramento broke their losing streak and now have won like 2 games in their last 10. Chicago's now the worst team in the NBA right now. They've lost 11 in a row. Guess who doesn't have to play Chicago? The Utah Jazz does not have to play Chicago. But guess who does? Washington has to play them twice. Twice. Chicago is the team to watch as the tank goes on. Chicago. Watch Chicago. They're trying to lose. They're terrible. And we'll see. The other thing is, like, the other team that I think Utah may potentially have a possibility of passing is Brooklyn. Look, they don't play Chicago, but they do play Washington. They play Sacramento twice. They have a worse tanking schedule than Utah. Look at this. Utah has this 9, and I think Utah has a chance to really jump because the games I'm seeing here, they do not play Chicago. I think that's a big deal. I think Chicago is just putrid and awful. They have no defense. They are so bad. They're so bad. I can't tell you. Thank goodness Utah doesn't have to play them. All of those other teams do. Utah is going to play Portland, that they think is a bad team, but Utah's going to lose that game. Utah plays Milwaukee twice. They're going to lose those 2 games because I think Giannis is going to be back here soon. In fact, when does Utah play Milwaukee? Is Giannis back by then? In fact, let's Google this. When does Giannis come back from injury? Early March. Let's see. The first week of March. So, look. You look at this schedule. They play Milwaukee March 7th. Is that the return of Giannis? Maybe. It would be nice because Utah needs to lose that game. And that means Utah has probably a harder schedule than this even. This is inflated. Utah's going to lose these 2 games, especially if Giannis comes back. We've seen that Utah can't beat Memphis, which is great. They're not going to beat Memphis. I don't think we're going to see Lowry Markkanen again for the rest of the season. The only 3 games that are truly, because they get to play New Orleans again too. Utah's in the driver's seat here, guys. I think 2 and 3 is on the board. And they've got 3 games left between. That's why these 2 Washington games, if they can at least lose one, if they lose both, forget it. Utah jumps into like the 2nd and 3rd spot, possibly. Because you see what, let's see. Where is Brooklyn? Right here. Look at this. They play Sacramento twice. Sacramento sucks so bad. Utah's probably beaten them. Everyone's probably beaten them. But Utah only has to play them one more time. Brooklyn has to play them twice. And look at all these teams they're going to play. Like the Pacers, Wizards. Yes, they also have these same teams. But there's a possibility Utah could potentially pass them up as well. If Utah loses to the Washington Wizards. Uh-oh. So yeah, good stuff. And then you look at who else is up here. Indiana. I mean, let's just check out Indiana as well. Look, Indiana plays Sacramento, Brooklyn, Chicago, like I talked about. We'll see. I think Indiana's pretty much locked in. I think you're kind of hoping for this 3 spot. That might be the one that you're really, really hoping for. So nice to see. All right, guys, I think that's all. I thank you for watching. Successful night for the Utah Jazz. The tank has been extremely successful. And we're just going to see some potential to jump to 2 or 3. I think it's 3 or 4. I think it's in play. I think if I was predicting, I think by the end of the season, I think the Jazz are in the 4 spot. They just literally got to lose every game for the rest of the season. And they got better coaching than everyone else. They know how to lose better than everyone else does at this point. They had a few dumb wins this year that if I could take back that Boston win, my goodness, would I? And that San Antonio win, and what was the other? There's like 3 wins that they shouldn't have had. It sucks because you take those away and look, Utah's right there. So, bummer, but it is what it is. Let's lower that. All right, so if the lottery was today, what would happen? Utah drops 2, it goes to 7, but that's at least they keep their pick, guys. At least they keep their pick. Dallas jumps to 1, that would be the worst. Chicago jumping to 3, Indiana to 2, Brooklyn to 4. The East, I guess, gets better. Interesting. All right, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope Utah's the team that jumps. A big shout out to the All-Stars and all the members of the channel. I really appreciate you very much. Let's give a shout out to Ryan Perry, the legend. The name means king. Just buckets. Ball so hard, ball stat. See ya, Lex Slater. Jace is the ace Garner. Steve Areno, Stucer. Let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel Raicibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. Jordan the GOAT, Bessrel. Christian House, Money to Haas, Robert Hall of Fame, Arcs Poetica, Austin, our grant editor extraordinaire, Jazz Forge, and Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. By the way, anyone else on Twitch? Not. Oh, look. Hi, James. Breakfast time here in France. Cheers. What's up, Supernova in France? And then certain, looks like we got a bot or something. Anyways, guys, like the channel. Or like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm tired.